what should you be looking for when talking about a live stream service? When you're going out and trying to get somebody to help you stream for your business, what is that you should be looking for? That's what we're going to be talking about on today's episode. Hello and welcome to Live and Local. My name is Nick Polkuski, and I'm one of your hosts here along with
Brian Lawton.
And on today's episode, we're going to dive into what you should actually be paying attention to and looking for when you're going to be hiring a live stream service company to come out and help you with your business live streaming. So I guess first, maybe to start things off, let's talk just a little bit about why somebody would want to hire a company. So one of the big things with live streaming is nowadays it has gotten very easy to just go live with your phone and create that very simple live stream experience. But when you're a business, when you're a brand, when you're trying to build a company, that might not always be the best thing for you to be doing all the time. Sometimes it's important to have those professional, high quality productions to really be more engaging. Maybe you just have an environment that is difficult to live stream in, or you just simply don't have the time to learn all the ins and outs, make all the mistakes that can come with live video. And so that's where you might want to actually hire a specific company to do some of that work. And I think that's what we're going to talk about today in terms of what you should actually be looking for with those companies.
Yeah, for me, it's a time thing. So you hire somebody to save yourself time, but also the production piece that, it increases the camera quality, it increases your show flow, and we'll talk about a lot of that. But it's you can market at a higher level. You can do more of the augmented details at a much higher level, much more professional level. So, to me, Nick, it's basically a time saver and another touch to your clients, your audience that should be professional.
Yeah, and I think that is the key, is that it's going to allow you to just get up to that next level in a quicker way than you would be just by yourself. So when we're talking about working with a live streaming company, what's one of the first things that you need to look for in that service?
Well, they need to help me understand as a business owner what live streaming can not only do, but how to drive leads and lead convert so that sales go up and you have a growing business. I mean, that's what kind of the end game is with all of this. Whether you go live to educate or you go live to contribute in some way to the community, as a business owner, you're still trying to convert leads and generate more sales. So live streaming is just another marketing tool that can help grow the business, and hiring the right company is like any service, whether no matter what you're hiring, you want to make sure you've hired the right one and the right fit for you and your business.
Yeah, and I think that's so true. And it's really making sure that the people you're working with take the time to sit down and to understand what's going on within your business, to understand all those different aspects so that they can make sure they're giving you the right solution for that.
Well, and it begins, and like we say in our business, we lead with how can we help. We train our staff to operate with that principle, and it's no different when you're live stream, company, or when you're interviewing a live stream company. They need the ability to listen to what your needs are and the way your business operates, and really a true understanding of how live streaming integrates with your business and your audience, and then being able to listen and talk through that with you. And it's got to be comfortable for the live streaming company. It's got to be comfortable for the business person, and then it's got to fit that way. But really, it starts with help and contribution, like so many things do in business, and that they have to get that. They have to get you and your business needs.
Yeah, and I love just kind of the way that you're approaching that. So what are some of the things that a live streaming company, when they're kind of going through and understanding your business, what are some of the things they should be able to offer you?
Well, understanding the budget, I think, is because it costs. You're hiring somebody to save you time and to develop a more professional level of live streaming for you. So, you need to understand your budget. That gets back to help. How are they helping understand your needs and your money and that sort of thing? So walking through all of the offerings that Livestream company provides you and fitting it to your budget and your needs and the size of your company and the growth of your company and stuff like that. So I think it starts with just an understanding of how this is going to fit in the marketing budget.
Yeah. Well, and I think so, and I also think that they need to be willing to try and find options for your budget. So some places are going to have a more significant budget, like some businesses just are. So they might be able to deliver that full premium package to that business, whereas other places might be a little more budget conscious. So then how can they adjust that? And I know we see that a lot with events, especially. Some events have a significant budget and sell live streaming tickets, whereas some might not have as much of a budget and are still selling live streaming tickets. So the way we can kind of work with them is and having some flexibility in, do we do a fixed fee up front, or do we do a small fixed fee plus percentage of sales, something like that. So getting a little more creative, I think, is a good thing to have with your...
Yeah, and we're talking about live events. There's ways that the live streaming company can offer you to scale it back. So they could be operating on just a keynote stage. They could be operating in multiple rooms at once, so you can take in the breakout sessions or whatever that is as well. So, that a good live stream company will have several different packages basically for you, and be able to scale up, scale back depending on what your needs are.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the key things. Another really big thing that for me is very important is that the live streaming company is looking at your business and kind of doing that assessment, thinking about what's best for your business, but then making the best choice for your business in terms of like platform specifically. I know there are some more proprietary things, some things that are easier for, say, a live streaming company to kind of, they've used them a lot, so they know what they're doing, but it might not be the best platform for your business and your audience. And I think that needs to kind of be taken into account and be something that the company you're working with, the service you're working with, is really focused on that aspect.
Yeah, and that gets back to the listening point. But what platforms do you think should be provided then?
For most business, this is going to depend a little bit if it is specifically an event type one, or if it's just a weekly show. Say for a weekly show, most likely the first one you're going to go to is Facebook. Because there's a lot of engagement that happens there on Facebook. It's a great way to really build a community. The next one you're going to look at is, if you can, ideally do Facebook and then YouTube as well, because YouTube is going to give you a lot more SEO value as a business. It's going to help drive people to your website. The videos are going to stay there a lot longer, so that's why I think YouTube is a great add-on. But now if you're looking on the paid side of things, like for a paid live streaming ticket, then it can vary quite a bit. Vimeo is usually a great option in terms of where to stream to, and then because then you can take that Vimeo video and embed it behind a paywall of some sort on a membership site or something like that. There's a lot of different options that you have then versus just trying to go to YouTube or going to some really random kind of platform. There are a lot more proprietary kind of platforms within the paid kind of side of things, but a lot of time those are more difficult for your customers and audience members to actually get to. They have to, they have to type in different logins and do all these different things, and it might not be a platform or a way they're used to, so they might even have to download software, which no one wants to do that. We want to make it as simple and easy for them as possible. So just go to a web page, use your username, password, get in, and that's the way we want to do that.
So keep the friction low, make sure that your audience can access easy, and that you're on the right platform that you've already established a reach to, so an audience for.
And so something you just said is not necessarily something we have on our list, but keep the friction low. And I think that kind of is a great all-encompassing kind of thing. You want to keep the friction low for the audience members, and you want to make sure that live streaming service company is keeping the friction low for you as well. I think that's a key thing, because you should be focusing on content delivery, like creating the best show possible, and delivering all the information, and not have to worry about all the tech and all the other things or all these other different aspects. You want it to be as friction free as possible.
You do, and I think that leads to the next step, which is the professional production. And you're good about doing the bottom thirds and the and the screen details and graphics, and if you're presenting content that's going to provide value, you can have the slide up and be really creative with that kind of next level production piece. And what else should somebody be looking for when they're talking to a live streaming company? What sort of production elements should they look for?
Yeah, and some of it's going to depend a little on your show and the feel of the show you want, but the production company, they should be able to produce a high quality stream for you. So we're talking HD quality, as long as the signal's there, they should be able to do that. We're talking multiple cameras, so you can switch back and forth between different camera shots, all of those things. They should be able to do the lower third, so bring in the graphics. They should be able to do other kinds of, let's see if we can do one here. No, so we don't have all of these things set up, but they should be able to bring in animations. They should be able to, bring up slides and have the slides shown, but also have you shown in a very appealing way. So I know I've definitely seen those little ones where you're a little tiny box on the very But they should be able to do things in a way that look very professional, that look good, that present a great image for your brand, and can really, again, it's about making sure the audience has the best experience possible. And so some of that is making sure they're seeing professional things, professional quality in branding, in graphics, in camera quality, but then also making sure things are easy for them to use, easy for them to engage with. So another engaging element is to actually bring comments across the screen. Like, that should be an option if that's something you want to do. They should have those options there to really make it very engaging.
Yeah, not only engaging in that moment if they're bringing the equipment to you, but also that ability to be mobile.
Yeah.
And have those elements traveling with them. So if the live stream company is coming to you on location, or you're going to a destination to do your live stream, that ability to convert that on-screen, on-air content to the mobile element of that as well.
Yeah, and then when you're talking mobile, like, you're not talking,
no, not mobile device, right?
We're talking like high quality, again, using professional streaming cameras, and going out there, making sure everything is mic'd up correctly so you sound good.
You've got the proper internet connection.
Yep, and to make sure that you have a solid internet connection, and that's a point we should definitely get to in a second too. But they should be able to get very creative with your show and your live streaming. So if you want to, earlier today we were talking about possibly traveling around in a car for part of the live stream, and so like they should be able to do that. They should be able to think of creative ways to bring people into your business, into your brand. So if you're a restaurant or a bar, they should be able to come into location and show, maybe have unique close-ups of you pouring the beer or mixing drinks. Also be able to get very artistic, but be able to really move around that spot and really show all of that, all within probably the same stream. You should be able to be mobile, or they should have the ability to at least think about how we can do this in a unique, creative way. Yeah,
being mobile means, like you said, we're not talking about mobile device, talking about the live streaming company being able to bring the equipment no matter where you are. So if you're talking a bar and a restaurant, they likely have probably a good Wi-Fi signal, but even in areas that don't have that, and to maintain that quality, because it's a customer touch, it's a client touch that we're after, and that level of service you want to provide on a daily basis to brand yourselves, to engage people, to have them remember that they really pay attention to the details of things. That all matters as you live stream as well, and that live stream company needs to be able to touch all those points no matter what location they're at.
Right, exactly. And so kind of going off of that a little bit, internet connectivity, like they should be able to figure out a way to get your stream to happen no matter what
Right.
location you're at. So we have done brand new home constructions where there's not even necessarily wall, like the drywall.
There's no
all,
internet,
yeah,
right?
There's
no
definitely
internet. There's maybe a decent signal, maybe.
Yeah, sometimes that's debatable. Or even like for Social Media Breakfast in Madison, we have streamed a few of their monthly meetings. Well, a big reason they were hesitant about that was because they were told that their one location just didn't have the signal in order to be able to do that.
Right.
Well, with some of the gear that we have, we're able to go in there, bind a couple cell phone signals together from different companies and create a nice solid stream that goes across very well. Like that's something whatever company you're working with should be able to have those in the toolkit. Like they should be able to say, hey, we're going to make sure we can get you the best signal possible.
Right. And so what question should a business ask that when they're interviewing live stream or they're vetting live stream companies, what's the question they're asking there?
Yeah, that is...
It gets back to need, right? So I mean, if they're just doing the production in an area that has really good Wi-Fi, really good internet connection that the live stream company will have access to, that's one thing. But also making sure there's a backup plan.
Yeah, well, and the backup plan is definitely going to be key because, again, this is live video, so things can happen. But let's get to the backup plan in just a second. In terms of what they should be asking for, I think part of that is telling them what you would ideally like to see as a business. So if you have if you know you're always going to be in your store and your store has 100 up, 100 down kind of internet service, then internet connectivity is probably not going to be that big of an issue. But if you know that you want to go out into the community and you want to go to different coffee shops, or you want to do home tours, or you want to do some more of this creative things, if you want to take people for a test drive in your car, if you're a car dealer, and like take them along on a live streaming test drive, like tell whatever company you're working with like what some of your ideas are for episodes, what you'd like to see, and then just have that conversation of like, can you make this happen? Can this work? Is this a possibility? Like if we don't have internet or if we're out alone,
right?
Like how can we make this work? Can you even do something like this? And at minimum, whatever company you're working with should be able to like walk you through is like, okay, here's some things we can try. Here's what it might look like, even if they don't know necessarily, because honestly, there are places where we probably can't live stream it. It's just all going to depend on cell phone signals and things like that. If you're in a complete concrete building, like then you might not be able to do that. You might need that Wi-Fi. So they should at least be able to walk you through a few scenarios where, hey, we can get this done if we can figure out how to do this, how to do this. They should be willing to go out there and test. If you have specific locations you want to be streaming from, they should be willing to go to that location, test it out, and let you know, hey, we'll get a decent signal, or we have to reduce the video quality in order to get this to work.
Right.
But they should be able to give you options at least.
Right. And I think another concern that we hear from customers is they're really not sure how to fill the content. And so I think a good live streaming company is going to help you with show flow, is going to help develop the content of your show. Not only the beginning, middle, end of things, right? The easy sort of outline of things, but again, getting back to listening and how the company can provide value to you in the live stream is understanding your business and then taking pieces of your business and helping you develop not only show flow, but the specific content, who's going to be on camera, the general outline of the day, the hook, what is it that we're going to do to fill the time. And a good company should be able to present to you, probably 15, 20, or 25 shows
just to get
in an outline form pretty easily. And I think that's probably one of the top things you should look for as a business owner when you're hiring a live stream company.
Yeah, I would completely agree. They should, everything from that general outline and multiple segment possibilities and like really thinking about, okay, this is what everything should look like, and these are some of the more creative options as well. Like if we want to get creative, here's what it could look like, here's what you could do, here's what you could talk about, and I think they should be able to very strategically give you options for these episodes and be like, hey, we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to interview these type of people or to bring these type of people on your show or reach out to these type of people for this and this reason because we see it's going to grow your business. Because a show, yes, a big reason you're doing a weekly show is to have that connection with the audience, but another reason is to build those networks and to connect with more people in your industry, in kind of related industries, and really grow your networking essentially with all these guests and these people that you could be bringing on your show as well.
That's exactly right. What else do you have? What other?
I also think they should help you strategize with ways to really monetize, build your business, actually grow your business. I know we talk a lot about how live streaming can help grow your business, but there's several different ways that it can help do that, from the more traditional, just bring people in, get them through kind of your funnel, and help get people on your email list in order so you can nurture that relationship and go lead to sales that way. But it could be even, say you're more of a like downtown retail store, like they should be able to help strategize ways that you could actually get sales live. You could get sales through the live stream directly, like a QVC kind of style show. They should be able to have that option. They should be able to help you figure out how this could all work and what the flow for that would be, what you would need to do, what you need to say, how to best organize some of these things. So I think that's going to be a key thing of helping you make sure that you can monetize your stream in some way. And that goes for profits and nonprofits. Like there are options out there of how people could donate to your organization, things like that.
For sure. Yeah, and it gets back to just they need to be able to add value to whatever it is you do. From the ease of going live on your phone is one thing. So the access is there for you, for anybody. So this is next level. So what is the next level? What contribution, what value does that company bring to yours is what you're talking about. And that's just really important.
Yeah, and I guess I don't think we mentioned this. I know we've talked about it a lot, but you and I, but I think something that a company should also do is help with the promotion of your live show.
So that's huge, right?
Yeah, and help at least strategize, if not actually execute, on a lot of those
there's
promotional elements.
Pre-show marketing. There's several elements you've talked about in past episodes about, using Facebook Messenger and using that, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
The like bots and things like that, and even scheduling the stream ahead of time, and then making sure you have some ideas of when to email, what to do, what to say, other different types of like more to have some of those selfie type streams, those personality type streams
leading into the show.
Yep,
in the days leading into the show to promote your show, and a good company is going to not only strategize with you, but probably execute a lot of those things for you, cross-promote on their social sites, on their website to what is happening back to yours, so you can generate some traffic in the days leading into your show before you're live. And then also help you, reuse that content throughout its post-production.
Exactly, and so whether it's splicing different segments of it out, it could be, just putting it on a blog post, it could be transcribing it, giving that to you. Like there's lots of different elements on that, but at the least they should be helping you strategize, okay, these are all the things that we could possibly do with this live show. Maybe it's even starting a full podcast based off of the live show. Like who knows, but like there should be at least some talk about, hey, this doesn't end as soon as you hit that stop streaming button.
Yeah. So that's a lot of information. That's a lot of information, people. What's the next step for businesses that want to save time and up their live stream game?
Yeah, well, a big one for us is we are a live streaming service company, so reach on out if you are looking for a company that kind of checks all these boxes. Head on over to liveactionproduction.com where you can find all the information, how to connect with us, or reach out to us here on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching this. And then I guess another big one is that we very soon have a book that we're launching. So if you want to be a part of that launch team, head on over to liveactionproduction.com/launch team. You get to hear more about the book, more about everything around that and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I would say head on over to liveactionproduction.com if you're interested. We are live here for the Live and Local show every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Time. We're actually going to be changing the time here at the start of May, just to kind of let everybody know. So we'll be moving to 3 p.m. in the first week of May. So just be ready for that, but you can always join us live. We're here next week. Oh, and one thing we didn't even mention, and some people, if you're regular viewers, you might have noticed, we're in a brand new space.
A brand new space.
Yes.
You got a great new studio.
Yes, so we are just moved out of the old studio last week into the new one here, so lots of things still need to be adjusted, still need to be fixed. So if the lighting's off, if the sound's off in any way, we're still in process of building out the studio. But hopefully you're enjoying the space, and hopefully you will tune in next week for our episode there. Do we know what the topic is yet? Can't remember if we talked about the topic. The 5 elements of live streaming. So the 5 elements of a live streaming strategy. So be sure to tune in for that on next Wednesday. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.